Hi. So about a month or so ago, the radio show host on 95.3 MNC, Casey Hendrickson. Yeah, he's the guy that I did a video about before, which he totally did not commit stolen valor. Anyways, he uncovered, he broke the biggest political scandal in the state of Indiana's history. But some of you didn't see it because it was behind Casey's paywall. So I'm going to do you all a favor. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of the paywall of my account. I'm going to let you see some of this top secret footage that Casey Hendrickson exposed.
All right, so I'm going to flip it over to premium. We're going to go behind the paywall, and I'll see you guys here in just a second.
Wow, that was quick. Why didn't we
think of this before?
Next time we will.
Before we're out the door.
Next time you do it, pay-per-view it.
It's right here on pay-per-view.
We should be behind the paywall. So hopefully everything is working out pretty darn good. Before we get started, because this involves Clifton French and Fake News Michiana, before we get involved in that, I just want to address something here. So if you go to his website, I am not a part of this case at all. So like he says that Casey Hendrickson in 95.3 threatened lawsuit against a veteran to cover up stolen valor scandal. There isn't a stolen valor scandal. They're lying about it. But beyond that, I'm not involved in that at all. Like, that's a FedMed thing. Has nothing to do with my case or anything to do with me. So again, just kind of goes to the pattern that we're dealing with here.
So another false allegation was made against me over the holiday that I committed stolen valor and that I claimed that I was deployed to Iraq. It was full of a bunch of bogus nonsense. The lawyers laughed, I laughed. The lawyers laughed, I laughed. And ultimately, the decision was made to ignore them because they have no audience.
So obviously that means he had nothing to do with the lawsuit I was threatened with by his legal team, the same legal team that told him to ignore me. And by the way, he did not commit stolen valor.
So here's the deal. If you live in the Michiana area, you probably have run into this beef that has been happening with several Republicans. They decided to really go after Matt Chaffee, who is on the PHM school board. And it's been kind of weird because Matt Chaffee ran as a trio for school board as BAM. So there was 3 guys that were doing it. One has completely gone over to the Democrats while still pretending to be a Republican, has now on the county council, as county council president because of a deal he struck with Democrats. There's still some Republicans who don't know what's actually going on that are like, no, Republicans are just targeting Dan Schetzel because he is, trying to do what's best and he's trying to be bipartisan or whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad that Casey brought up Dan Schatzel because he's not even listed anywhere on the lawsuit. But it's a good thing that he let the public know that Dan Schatzel, who started his county council term in 2022, according to Casey, he also ran for school board at the same time in the same election in 2022. Now, last I checked, that was illegal, and it would have been impossible for him to do, but apparently Dan Schatzel was part of BAM, the trio that ran for school board in 2022. Yeah, so I guess BAM, the acronym BAM, standing for Brian, Andy, Matt, and Dan. The interesting thing is that's the same time Dan Schatzel got his county council seat. I didn't know he could run for 2 seats at the same time. I thought that was illegal. But once again, I'll defer to the burning truth because Casey Hendrickson's never wrong.
There's so much kind of involved in all of this internal beef, and I'm not going to go into most of it. I'm not even a part of it. It's just that because I would not lie for other people about other people, they decided to target me too. But one of the individuals that they targeted originally was Matt Chaffee, who is a conservative school board member in the Penn Harris Madison School Board. Of course, Clifton French from Fake News Michiana. You got the law firm involved here. Mike Mish, Clifton's pro bono lawyer, but was like a big money guy behind the former chair of the St. Joseph County GOP, and would run around with his childhood friend, a prominent Democrat, and brag about how the 2 of them actually ran St. Joseph County, Indiana.
Yeah, that's really well said, Casey. The previous chairman, Tyler Gillian, he didn't sit well with a lot of people. in the Republican Party. Yeah, so I've heard that some people think that Casey and a few others, they don't like Tyler Gillian, the former chair of the Republican Party, because as soon as Tyler took over, he fired Casey from being an MC at GOP events. I don't see any evidence for that. And others don't like Tyler because he was able to win St. Joseph County and turn it red for the first time. It took a gay man for the Republican Party to turn red in our county for the first time in history. Something that Abraham Lincoln couldn't even do after freeing the slaves. That just wasn't good enough because, well, obviously you're not allowed to be gay and a Republican too. So that was a real problem. And you're not allowed to be friends with any Democrats, like ever. Obviously, you got to have a political litmus test before being a friend with somebody. So he had the wrong friends. He's gay, and that basically cancels out all of his historic accomplishments.
There are 9 seats in the St. Joseph County Council. We're told for the first time ever, a majority of those seats are going to be held by Republicans.
County Councilman Dan Schatzel, come on down.
This is a big reason to celebrate. It's the first time the Republicans have taken control of the council in St. Joe County, so it's a big night.
First time ever?
First time ever.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a very long time. I think our party's 1854, so as long as we've been a party, it's the first time I think we've ever taken control.
The council will go from the current 6-3 Democrat majority to a 5-4 Republican edge.
AAK and Mike Mish use their client or former client, Clifton French, a self-proclaimed newsman. He's not.
Except for that one time when his story got you on Fox News to speak to Tucker Carlson.
There's a website called Real News Michiana, and it turns out, according to their reporting, Buttigieg does not have a very good track record when it comes to fixing roads. Casey Hendrickson is the host of The Burning Truth in South Bend, Indiana, and we're happy to have him join us tonight. Casey, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, so it's just been all the other times that he hasn't been a real newsman.
To initiate a defamatory political smear campaign against Matt Chaffee in retaliation. This is where it gets juicy. In retaliation for Matt Chaffee refusing to agree to run to unseat the longtime incumbent county council member, Mark Root. Yeah. That's something.
Yeah, that really is something, Casey. Especially because Mark Root was in the seat I, county council seat for St. Joseph County. So Mark Root lives in this district, District I, and Matt Chaffee lives in this district, District F. So that's really an amazing story that any political operative on the planet would want a crackhead who lives in the wrong district to run for office. Yeah, guys, the story just keeps getting crazier and crazier. You will only find this stuff on The Burning Truth. I promise you guys. So I'm sure all of the political operatives, like you said at the time, ran the county. They probably just didn't know where Matt Chaffee lived, and they really just had no idea that he was ineligible to run. You probably just forgot to mention that in your story, and that's understandable. We all forget things.
La 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 la, la 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 la. Casey's World!